What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media Channel. This is your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. And guys, we are here today for a pretty exciting review. This is my, I think, second most anticipated of the entire fall season as far as horror titles. We have got the Night of the Living Dead 4K Steelbook from Sony, guys. Look at this thing. Now, I was one of the lucky ones. I pre-ordered this when it first went up on Amazon, and I actually got this on release date from Amazon. Now, it wasn't a bubble mailer. I do want to say that, but there is no damage on this whatsoever. Now, I've heard other people say, tell horror stories. They got theirs all damaged, or they're still waiting on it to come in, or they couldn't get it at all, which we'll talk about a little bit later in this video, just the availability of this stuff. And I don't want to rant on Sony or Disney. I really don't. I want to plead with them to stop. Stop doing what you're doing. But we'll get to it towards the end. I just want to talk about this release first, and then we'll get to all that other messy stuff later. But before we get into it, guys, hit the subscribe button. Also hit the like button. Also comment down below, guys. Were you one of the ones that got this in on time from Sony? Is it still delayed for you? Was it damaged for you? Let me know all that stuff in the comment section below. And also just let me know what you think of Night of the Living Dead 1990. Do you actually like this one better than the original? Is this one of your favorite horror remakes? Let me know that in the comment section below. And let's get into talking about the movie. I like to talk about the film first, guys. Then we'll move into the actual transfer. And then we'll talk about the special features, which I'm actually really excited to talk about the special features in this. And then we'll, of course, do an unboxing as well. Now, I want to start off by saying, okay, I've never seen this movie. Yes, imagine that. Ken hasn't seen a movie. I know that's a big joke on the channel, but this is one that, I've seen the original several times. I mean, I watched the original for the first time when I was a kid. I rented that from the video store. And I don't know if I maybe just wasn't aware of this or just never saw this at the video store, but this one was just never on my radar at all. I don't even think I knew there was a Night of the Living Dead remake until maybe like the 2010s when I started to learn about this film and the fact that Tony Todd was in it. And I did want to see it, but I just never got around to it. I will say right off the bat, did I like the film? Did I enjoy my experience with the film? Because going into this, you hear all kinds of things about this movie. It was a troubled production. It's not Tom Savini's original vision. It's flawed. It's definitely not as good as the original. Then you hear other people say that it's better than the original and it's one of their favorite horror remakes. There's a lot of mixed opinions on this film, I feel like. But I'll say, watching the movie, I actually really enjoyed it a lot. Do I enjoy it as much as Night of the Living Dead, the original from 1968? No, I don't, but that's a high bar for me. I think that movie is like a masterpiece. It's amazing that it was actually able to be made in 1968. That movie, everything, everything that's in the zombie genre, subgenre of horror, comes from that movie. That movie establishes the template for everything that would come after, whereas this film just feels like it's picking up from everything that came before it, whereas the original feels like it's truly groundbreaking and it's doing stuff that nobody has ever seen before. This film just feels kind of the same from everything that came before it, and I think that was kind of the point. You take that original story, you update it with all the, zombie makeup effects that they have been doing for years, the past 20 years. I mean, of course, there were several advances in that area. You give it that modern shine, and then you put it out. And I think that was kind of the point of this film. And I think it's a very solid remake. It's very faithful to the original in a lot of ways. The big difference is Barbara and how they portray her character. She's much more of a badass in this. She starts off a little bit timid, but then she just becomes extremely capable, which you could look at that, which I started to look at it this way, but then I started to look at it another way and be like, well, that's not realistic. She starts off as this school teacher looking woman. And then to go from that to this complete badass Sigourney Weaver, Ripley, aliens inspired heroine, that doesn't really make sense. But then when you start to look at it as, well, how you act in normal society versus how you act when the actual apocalypse is at your doorstep, your literal doorstep, people have something inside of them, I feel like, that you don't truly see until the shit hits the fan. So that's the way I kind of interpret it. But she's really great in the movie. I'm forgetting that actress's name, but she does a great interview in this release. Patricia Tallman, she was fantastic in that role. And I love Tony Todd in this. I thought Tony Todd gave such a great performance. He has such presence in this film. So those are the two standouts to me, which they're the two main characters. So that definitely makes sense. Everybody else is good too. Like I enjoyed all the performances. My only issue with the movie is it feels so similar, like for large portions of the film to the original. I don't think it does enough difference to really distinguish itself other than just like the updated makeup effects for the zombies. Um, it just felt like the same thing as the original, and I just think the original is the original, and it's a masterpiece. And yeah, this one can try to copy it, but it doesn't make it better just because it updates it with a new coat of paint, if that makes any sense. But I did enjoy several things about the movie, and this will definitely be a movie that I give repeat viewings to in the years to come, and maybe will grow to love it almost as much as I do love the original. I do think, Tom Savini, I think, kind of got a bad rap with this movie. And, when you dive into the special features, you learn he was going through a divorce. He's got all kinds of like personal troubles going on. He was dealing with all the crap from the studios, a very tight shooting schedule. And it's like what he was able to do here is really kind of amazing. And this is a really like competently made film for a guy that never directed a movie before. Like this is a very well directed film. And it makes sense that all the gore effects and special makeup effects are very well done because that he's a makeup effects guy. So that makes sense. And all that stuff is very well done. So I don't know. I think it's kind of a shame, really, because he didn't really go on to do much directing wise after this. Kind of a shame he didn't go on to do more because I think he would have been capable of giving us a true like masterpiece in the horror genre at some point if he would have continued. But for whatever reason, he did not. This does include the unrated cut for the very first time. I watched the theatrical cut. That's just the way I am. If I'm watching something for the first time, I gotta start with the theatrical cut. I made the mistake of starting with the director's cut for Dark City, and I feel like I should have started with the theatrical cut for that one, and then moved into the director's cut. So I did watch the theatrical cut, the full version, the entire version. And then I watched the unrated cut, just like the first, I think, 15 minutes of it. And the big difference with the unrated cut, at least to me, was the fact that a larger portion of the opening is in black and white, and then it kind of turns to color in the graveyard sequence when the first zombie jumps out and attacks them, which is pretty jarring. It's pretty cool how they did it as well in the movie. But I think the original vision was for it to slowly go from black and white to color. That's what Tom Savini originally wanted to do, but they wouldn't let him do that. So he did this alternate version that has never been shown before. So I think there's some other differences as well. But again, like even if I would have watched the uncut version, I don't know the movie well enough to really pick up on those like big differences. But just know that the uncut version never before been seen before this release. So it's really cool that Sony added this. I will say the time is not different. So there can't be like super substantial differences between the two because they're both like an hour and 28 minutes as far as the length of the movie. So you do have the theatrical cut, you do have the uncut version. They're both on the same disc, the same 4K disc as well. So speaking of the 4K, guys, this is a 4K restoration of the theatrical and the uncensored versions of the film. You do have commentaries on both of the movies by Tom Savini, and I do think that they're different commentaries by Tom Savini as well. But the actual 4K restoration with the HDR, the Dolby Vision, man, it was incredible. And like I said, I had not seen this film on Blu-ray. Now, the Blu-ray is included here for both the theatrical cut and the uncensored version, but I think that those are updated scans, updated 4K scans. I don't think that those are the past Sony releases of Night of the Living Dead, that Blu-ray transfer. So I've never seen the movie on Blu-ray. Like I said, I've never seen the film. But as far as like I can look just objectively at a new 4K restoration, even if I haven't seen the past versions, and I can tell if something's a great 4K restoration or not just by looking at it. And also, I've seen tons of movies that have come out in the 90s on 4K, and there's just that like 90s aesthetic and style to it. When it's upgraded to 4K properly, it just looks stunning. This absolutely looks stunning. It is one of the best 90s 4K restorations I've ever seen. And I'm not trying to be hyperbolic. I'm really not, but damn, this looked good. And because you have those great makeup and special effects, like that girl that comes out of the basement, she looks so freaking gnarly and cool in that makeup. And like when it's like close up on her face, it's incredibly detailed, but such incredible detail, such incredible depth. There's a good amount of this movie that takes place at night. All those scenes look great. You can make everything out. It's all crystal clear. That contrast with that HDR between the blacks and the whites and all that stuff is so defined, and it just looks excellent, pristine. So I can't, and it's all throughout, guys. There is not a moment of this 4K that dips in quality. Like it is good, consistent quality all throughout the movie. I didn't notice anything. Like it was clean, pristine, all the way from the beginning to the end. So this is 100% one of the best 4Ks that I've seen this year. And I mean, it's Sony. Like we expect a certain level of quality with Sony, and you absolutely get it here. As far as the sound, there was also a sound upgrade as well. You get the Dolby Atmos here. So for audio junkies, like that's going to be great to get that sound upgrade. And I mean, this movie's got a great score. It's got a great soundtrack. It's got really great like action-y set piece moments. You got Barbara, you know, it's shooting people with a rifle and stuff throughout the movie, or maybe it's a shotgun. I can't remember. But there's a lot of great shooting sequences, explosions, set piece moments. Yeah, and the zombies, like just hearing them moan and groan and chomp and snarl and stuff. All that stuff sounds great. Now, I don't have that full Atmos setup. I got a soundbar that kind of simulates that Atmos. But everything to me, sound-wise, sounded fantastic, and always great to get a new Dolby Atmos upgrade. Now, getting into the 4K Steelbook here, guys. You got a night. Look at that, guys. This is the original poster of the film on a Steelbook, and it's just one of the nicest Steelbooks like I've ever seen. Like it really is. It's such a great Steelbook. It looks so good, like all the colors. Like this original poster is just fantastic on the Steelbook. And then on the back on the J card, you've got the synopsis. You got all the special features and stuff right there. You got the casting list, the specs, and yeah, it wraps around right here. And on the front, you got the 35th anniversary of the uncut version, theatrical version, all that good stuff. I'm not sure. I like the J cards like on the top. I'm not sure if Sony started doing this where they'll do the wraparound at the bottom. I'm not sure how much I like that. I don't know. Let me know if you're a fan of that in the comments section. But you take that off, and then on the back, you got this beautiful image of this zombie right here holding the doll, which I'm pretty sure is their mom in the movie. But you open this up, you got a digital code as well. So that's very cool. Then you got 2 discs in there. You got the Blu-ray and you got the 4K, which there was some controversy when this first got announced that the uncut version wasn't going to be on the Blu-ray, but it is. Like both versions are on the 4K and both versions are on the Blu-ray. So I'll take this disc out, show it off. And I mean, as far as Steelbooks goes, guys, fantastic. Just a great Steelbook. I love the artwork on the inside. Sony didn't always used to do artwork. Like if you look at the Fright Night 4K Steelbook that they did a few years ago, there's no artwork on the interior, but they've started doing it, which is great. Like if you're going to do Steelbooks only, at least give us some interior artwork and make it worth our while, right? But yeah, Blu-ray 4K on the inside with the digital code. Great stuff, great Steelbook. Now getting into the special features, there's loads. Look, Sony, they killed it. I will have my criticisms of Sony and Disney and some of these other labels that won't do any new special features. But when it comes to Night of the Living Dead 1990, they put everything they had into this release, and it's really incredible. There's 6 brand new interviews in this. What's interesting is some of these interviews were shot back in 2016. I think the interview with Patricia Tallman and also Tom Savini were both shot. And I know this because in the credits, it'll say 2016. And some of them were actually produced by Severin Films as well. So those interviews were done 9 years ago. Now they're fantastic interviews. The one with Savini is almost 30 minutes long, and he really gets personal and goes into the production of this movie, all the troubles and all that kind of stuff. And it's a great interview with Tom Savini. It's one of the best. And I don't know if these interviews have been anywhere else. Again, they're 9 years old. But I'm pretty sure that they're new. Like people haven't seen them before. They're seeing them for the first time in this release. So they're new, but even though they're 9 years old as far as they've been, as far as when they were shot. But yeah, you got it's a great interview. It really is. It's one of the better ones that I've seen this year for sure. But also the one with Patricia Tallman, which I think was also done in 2016. That's a great interview as well because she just goes into the fact that she hasn't seen the movie since it came out. It's always, fun to listen to these actresses kind of reminisce, and then they talk about how they're showing this movie to their son and how they're like the cool mom now because they were in a horror movie back in the day. It's a fun interview with her, and it's about 20 minutes long, and she just talks about how great everybody was and how this was like her first big major movie, and it's really a great interview. You feel the love for Tom Savini, like with all these actors and all these interviews here. And it's always great when you have that kind of dynamic and you get that feeling and you feel that it's truthful, like you feel it's genuine when you're listening to it. Then you've also got an interview with Bill Moseley. Now, this one's new. I think that this is new, probably shot either this year or last year. And that's a great interview as well. I mean, Bill Moseley's only in like, I think, 2 minutes of the movie. Like he's playing Johnny, the opening brother character. So he's not in the movie very long, but he, talks about that and gives some good insight on this movie and then working with Tom as well. And then you got Return to the Living Dead with special makeup effects supervisors John Volek and Everett Burrell. So this one I believe is new. I think all the rest of them that we're going to talk about are newer interviews for this release. It was only the first two that were from 2016. But this is a great interview with the special makeup effects people, just talking about all the makeup effects. And I mean, I actually watched all these to completion. There's like 2 hours worth of new special features and materials here. You've also got Time with Tom with actor William Butler, who plays one of the characters in the film. And that's a really solid interview. I really like the interview with the mother and daughter. They're not mother and daughter in real life, but they're mother and daughter in the movie. They come back. It's actors McKee Anderson and Heather Mazur. And I think that the girl that plays the daughter, which she's a woman now, she's probably 50 by now. She talks about how she's never seen this movie and she's still never seen it. And she's just not super into horror. So it's kind of interesting getting her perspective from not ever seeing the actual film. But that's actually a really good one too. And it's about 20 minutes long. They were just talking about, working on the film. And then you got some of the other past archival features on here. You got theatrical trailer. Like I said, a couple audio commentaries with Tom Savini, one for the theatrical version, one for the uncensored version. So as far as special features, guys, especially for a major studio, like this takes the cake in 2025. Like you don't see studios do stuff like this. Like this is boutique level work right here on a studio release, and it's something you don't see very often. You might see Lionsgate dip into it from time to time, but they're not doing like 6 new features. Like this is incredible what they did with this release. So overall, guys, this is a fantastic release. The only issue here, and I 100% recommend this. Like this may be this may be like a top 5 release of 2025, honestly. The only issue here is the availability. So Sony, Disney, please, okay? I'm pleading with you. I'm not ranting on you, okay? I'm done ranting. It does nobody any good. I'm pleading with you. Stop the Steelbook only bullshit, okay? It makes this stuff way too limited. It sells out quickly. You cannot produce enough copies. And I think it's needless. I think it's pointless. What is the point of this to make this stuff that people want more limited, and you're selling less, you're getting less of a return on your investment? In my mind, you guys are, heads of major companies or whatever. Maybe you know things that I don't know. In my mind, I'm looking at this like, you're going to sell this Steelbook regardless. The people that want a nice collectible version for one of their favorite horror remakes, they're going to buy this regardless. Okay. But you're missing out on the people that would buy this if it wasn't for it coming out 4K Steelbook, because there are people out there that are not going to get this because they don't want to get a 4K Steelbook. They just want a standard version. Release a standard version, make it a little bit more widely available, produce 1,000, 1,500 copies of that, produce whatever you're going to produce for the Steelbook, and this is still going to sell out. The Steelbook will still sell out, but at least there will be another option for people that can get this amazing release, just a regular slipcover version as well. You'll have 2 options to get this incredible release that you put so much work into. Why wouldn't you want everybody to be able to enjoy the work that you put into this release? Why are you making it so incredibly limited to get your movie, the work that you did, on 4K. I get doing a limited Steelbook. I get it, but that can't be the only thing you do. You gotta do a regular slipcover version, a regular standard version alongside the Steelbook. And same for Disney. You do it in the UK. Why can't you do it in the States? Stop with this bullshit. It's crap. Okay, I'm getting into a little ranty territory, but I'm pleading with you guys, please. You are actively hurting physical media. You are actively hurting physical media. You are driving people away from these releases because they refuse to pay these high price points to get these collectible Steelbooks. They still want to get their regular standard versions for a little bit cheaper if they can. And again, it's not going to hurt your Steelbook sales. It will not. The people will still buy this. It'll still go out of print, and you'll also sell loads of standard versions as well. I promise you, I know this, okay? I know this. And it's just so incredibly frustrating because I got this amazing release right here that I'm sitting here telling you is incredible, and nobody can get this. Nobody can get this right now. It's not available. It's not now. Will it be available in a couple months? Maybe, but it should be available now for people that want it. So that I said my piece, guys. I'm extremely frustrated because it's such a great release. Everybody should be able to get it. It's very frustrating, but thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on those bell notifications for our future videos, and I'll leave the Amazon link down below. If I find it anywhere else, I'll link it. But that link, if you go to it, it's not going to be available. Hopefully it'll come back in stock at some point. So that's why I'm going to leave it down below, but thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you next time.